Hello everybody, this is GekTech here. Been a little while since a few have heard from me, and I have been active on the Hovermania updating, so I wanted to show you where we are at. Plus, I want to release a new build of the program, one that now has a track editor that will also export and import um, tracks that you make. Now, this is still a very, very, very early prototype build of Hovermania, but I want to go ahead and show everybody where we're at right now. So, there is excitement already. How did I screw that up from the time? Huh. Well, look at that. Look at that. Oh, I guess I did. There does need to be another thingy there. La-di-da. Okay, so still learning, still making mistakes. It happens. We're building a game here, you know? It just you gotta expect it, that's all. So once again, when we get into the program, we have a basic menu here. It's walls, start. This is an empty space for now, and load. I'll briefly explain what they do. Walls, I'll show you here in a minute. That's how we create the walls in the track area. Start is how we place the starting line. This is basically, right now, it just tells the game where the player hover car is going to be positioned on the map. After we place some walls and then place the starting line, this white box will pop up with a save option, and then you click that, and that basically closes the map. It just makes it easier for loading the map later on. And right now, this pink bar or button here says load. That is what you would press to load a track that you've previously saved. As things once you start a new track, if I did it right, that should go away. And then after you save, it'll pop up and say play, indicating that you can play the track that you just built. So, I am going to attempt to build a quick track, save it, exit the program, load the program back up again, load that track, and then play it. So this is going to be a little bit of a tutorial video, as the controls probably don't make sense to anybody but me at this point. So here's what we do. Right now, you can right-click anywhere in the game space to move the menu around. Now, this was a feature I included early on, just because inevitably a menu gets in the way, and this way you can very quickly and easy move it around the screen in case it is in the way. Now, in order to place your walls, this is a little bit of a complex procedure for right now. I'm hoping to streamline and simplify this as time goes on, but for right now, you have to click the walls button once. You will note that it load went away because you can't load anymore. We're working on a new map, and this changed to wall 1. That indicates that you are going to click somewhere in this play space to mark the position of the first point of the wall. So I'm going to click up here in the corner. You'll note that nothing happened except this text changed to wall 2. Again, in the future, I'm probably going to have it so that right now, so that the first point is anchored, and then as you move around, it shows the wall. But for right now, it just remembers the location where I clicked and changes the text to wall 2, indicating that I need to place the second point of the wall. So I'm going to do that down here in the corner and click a Rooney. There we go. Now we have a little gray wall. It's a little crooked, but that's okay. You'll also note that this changed back to saying just wall. That is the indication that you can place a new wall. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to just sort of repeat the process a few times to build in a border while I talk briefly about the start button. As mentioned earlier, that is the button that would place the starting line. The way that the editor is set up right now, that needs to be done after you are done placing all of your walls. Basically, you place your walls and then you place your starting line, and then that is sort of the indication that you are done building the track, at which point the save button will come up and then you progress from there. So, now I'd like to do some work with walls in the middle of the track, which is where the moving the menu comes in handy. And again, I'm just clicking the wall button. Changes to 1 to indicate the first point of the wall. I click. Changes to 2. I click again, and it places the wall. And you just basically continue to do that until you have what sort of kinda might look a little bit like a track. I need to menu again, and you'll note that the menu can overlap things. Right now it can actually go off the screen too, so you have to watch out for that. But if it does go off the screen, you can always just bring it back. And if I did it right too, I think you can click the first wall and then, yeah, and then still move it. Even after, yeah, with the second wall. So you just have to keep track of where you've clicked and stuff. And again, in the future, I will update this and make it a little more user-friendly. But for now, the job can be done, so here we go. So there we have a little bit of a basic track. Now it's time to place the starting line. And even I always forget how this works. It's exactly like placing a wall. You click the button, click the first point, and then click the second point. But it's very important as to which point you click first, because this is how you choose the direction the car will be facing when you first start the track. And if I remember right, if you click like here in the middle and then up, it'll point the car or the hover car off to the left. If I start at the top and go down, it'll point the car off to the right, or vice versa. Either way, I'm going to click start, and just like with a wall, you'll note that it added a 1. It's a little messy right now. We'll fix that later. So I'm going to click here in the middle. It changes to 2, and I'm going to click the second point right here. And it's hard to tell, but you'll note it's a little bit beveled on this, or whatever, on this side and flat on this side. That means that the car is going to point off to the left. So I was right. So now start changes to done. This just is a reminder that, hey, you're done building the track, so it's time to save. Right now, this is it just sort of ends the track, as I stated earlier, but it is important. You cannot proceed until you save the track, so I'm doing that now. Again, you'll move the menu around if you want. I love that I did that. So there, we saved it, and now it pops up a little text box. Now this is kind of an ugly aspect of GameMaker in my opinion, but for now it's gonna work. Right now I happen to be defaulting to the desktop. The default folder that this actually chooses for you is the temp directory that the game is running in, so it's very ugly. I haven't figured out how to change that yet, or if I even can. I recommend just saving your track to the desktop. It makes it nice and easy to find, or you can put it in downloads or wherever you like. But basically, just pick a simple name for the track. Poop has been a popular theme here, so I'll call it Poop. And you don't need any extension, just name it. One thing I have not tested is if you can have spaces in the name. For now, I would recommend just keeping it simple. No spaces, no underscores, no symbols, none of that kind of stuff. We'll worry about fixing that later. So for now, I've named it Poop, and I click Save. And you'll note that it says saved, and now the play button shows up. So I can go ahead and click play. And it looks like the menu went away and now boom, I can play, but this is actually a new room, and it reloaded the map that we just created using the coordinates that we placed throughout the room. So, little side note on that aspect. But now we can go ahead and race around our track that we just built and have a little fun. You'll note that right now there's no score keeping of any sort. There's no time keeping. Nothing like that. We haven't gotten to that point just yet. I wanted to get a little bit of a track editor built so that the people who have been nice enough to support my cause and purchase a copy of my game have something to do. And the next portion that I'm going to show you, from here, right now there's no real way to reset. You can, but I'm not going to tell you how. The best way to do it is to hit escape to close the program. And now you will have the executable. So you just double click on that to start it again, but I'm going to just launch it again through the IDE here. Same process. But this time, instead of creating a track, we're just going to go ahead and load. Now, since I had just done this, it defaults back to the desktop area. In your case, it might be different depending on what you had done on your computer in between saving and loading. You'll note that it automatically added the .ini. I will probably change that in the future. For now, it just is easier to be an INI file. So you just click it, double click it, hit enter, however you want to do it. Click open. And there you go. And once again, you can go ahead and race around your track and have some fun. Now, as long as every time you make a new track, you save it as a different file name, it will go ahead and save each new track for you, and you can email them to friends. I definitely would love to have copies of any tracks that anybody makes. For now, the size of the track is set. In the future, we'll be able to make bigger tracks and all that kind of stuff, and the graphics will be updated, and we'll add sound effects and all sorts of fun stuff. But for now, I think this is a nice little update worth sharing with friends and fans of Hovermania, and thank you so much for supporting my cause and my work, and I'm excited to continue to bring this project to you. Should hopefully be complete in a month or so. Maybe less. We'll see how it goes. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, everybody, I'm GeckTech, and this is Hovermania.